person and they end up not being a good person. Zeer can stop this from happening. And if it can't stop it by calling police with your secret safe word or the touch of a button, it can at least prosecute that SOB later. This is why I care about it. 6 years ago, I was attacked. I was in a coma for a month. A year later, the man who attacked me was acquitted by a jury, even though he had my money in his pocket. He threatened to rape my friend moments later, and he was covered in my blood. Why can't I order a pizza on the Domino's app and they'll come to me right away for $5? But if I call 911, they have no idea where we are. They don't record. There's no evidence that's recorded. It's silly. It's the 21st century. So 20% of violent crimes are never solved. 20%. 7% of property crimes are solved. Now, what technology would be a perfect chain of evidence? Blockchain technology. And the most secure is the Bitcoin network. Now, here is where we are going to market in universities because, no surprise, centralized governments or even municipalities, states, and cities are a little hesitant to adopt this type of technology. I did talk to Miami-Dade Cryptocurrency Task Force at Bitcoin Unleashed a few weeks ago, and I think we might be able to run a pilot there. We are working to release Zeer into some universities and colleges in Miami-Dade as well. But if we can prove that Zeer works on a college level where you have a campus security that can receive the rich data we want to provide, then I think we can start to work with the governments. So we're focused on going to market in colleges. So with the touch of a button, geofencing or your secret safe word, Zeer activates and says live video, medical information, exact location to campus security and to emergency contacts. So everybody knows where you are and what's happening. And at the same time, it streams that data to the Stacks blockchain so nobody can manipulate it. So there is no he said, she said. Right now, 2 out of 3 women in college are sexually assaulted or harassed before they graduate. This is a problem that's 12,000 years old, and we can make a difference. So Zeer's activated. It live streams that information to campus security, like I said, to their administrative panel so they can get to you more quickly. And over time, we can use those analytics to predict and respond to events possibly before they even happen. So this is where CityCoins comes in. This is what we're excited about because this is Zeer 2.0. Safety is not sexy. And college students are not going, I'm in Penn State University right now at an investors conference. And none of the students here are using any type of technology like this. And even if it did exist in this campus, there is competitors in other campuses. They don't use it according to our research. They don't think about it. They don't care. So what we're doing is creating a gamification strategy. I think Roger from One Huddle is on here, and we're going to hopefully be able to work together. We're going to create a gamification strategy to encourage people to learn how to be safe and to protect each other. So for example, and I'm working with this author who does choose your own adventure safety novels. He's a family safety expert. He also is a black belt in karate. He's wild. In fact, I'll be on his podcast next week or the week after. But we're doing a choose your own adventure novel for college students. And as they, pick the right path towards safety, they'll get rewarded in CityCoins. And then we can have dorms go up against each other. So, it's learn to earn, play to earn, etc. That's where CityCoins is really going to come in. Now we're still storing all the bad data on Stacks, but CityCoins is used to incentivize safety. Won't it be nice in 3 years, walk down a city that you've never been and not even think about your safety, not even worry about it? Because Zeer has your back. That's the world that I am building, and I am never going to quit. You can help by putting us in touch with allies that are in the safety space, particularly right now for college students. We're looking for a marketing expert, marketing communications director, and an advisor for our advisory board, especially if they're a prosecutor or possibly a retired chief of police, somewhere in that realm, because we have a lot of advisors that are experts in other spaces, but that's something we need. So please reach out to me if you'd like to help. My name is Adam David Jones at the One and Only Corporation, and I can promise you I'll be doing this until we solve this problem. So thanks a lot for having me here, and I'll try to unshare my screen.
Thank you, Adam. And I was able to pull up the video. I can try to share that now if you would like, so people can see that.
I would really like it. It's a really easy to understand way of how this can help you.
All right, everybody, that's another round finished. We're actually going to give you just
Can you guys hear? Can you guys hear that? Yep.
Yes.
Perfect.
Secret safe word, Zeer starts sharing live video and location to your emergency contacts. You know it saves everything to the cloud, so you can't deny your story. This date doesn't go the way you expected at all. Shout another safe word, Zeer dials 9. Download Zeer at zeersafe.com.
I know some of y'all can't hear it, and that's sorry about that. But please ask me any questions, and I want to make sure that we are all aligned on how we can support this mission and, and help keep you and your community safe. So fire away.
Yeah, Adam, maybe I'll sort of like kick off. I'm just wondering, so I know you mentioned that you spoke to the Miami-Dade Cryptocurrency Task Force, but can you talk a little bit more about, what has the reception been from the cities that you've spoken to about this?
Theoretically, they say this is wonderful. I don't know how often and to be frank, this is my first time trying to work with governments. It's a very, very long sales process. If you want to call it a sales process, partnership. The governor or, administrator of the city or mayor of the city, et cetera, have to buy in. You need advocates within the departments to buy in. You have to, their IT departments, their first responders, there's a lot of different departments that really have to want to support something like this. But of that, we have 3 counties that we've been talking to, 2 cities, and Miami-Dade. Most of our stuff is in the Northeast because that's where me and my US team is based.
Got it. So when you think about this, do you have to actually integrate with the police departments and all the different departments that you just kind of work through, or like, what is that process like?
If they would have received the rich data, yes, which is why our go-to-market strategy is with higher education, because the same data that we can send to the admin panel that I showed you in higher education, we could send to NG 911 when the centralized authorities buy into NG 911. There was 10 billion or 15 billion in the infrastructure pipeline last year that was stripped from the infrastructure package. It's coming. There's billions of dollars on the horizon, but as I said, it's a political game and it's a slow process that I'm not going to play. I'm just going to distribute this to as many people as I can to help saving lives. And when enough people raise their voice about it, that, why can I call for pizza and Domino's, but I can't get help, we'll be there.
Hey, Adam, this is Hassan. I have a question for you. First of all, kudos. This project here, man, this is excellent. Is there by any chance for your campus program that you're starting with, is there a limit to how far the person who uses Zeer has to be before the campus police come? Can it be any, as you said, Philadelphia, for example, if they're at Temple and they're all the way down at Rittenhouse Square,
Yeah, I think
or
about
if they're
Temple a
at
lot.
Gino, if they're at Gino's or Pat's,
Yeah.
does it still?
Wait,
does
which
the
one? Is it
campus-
Gino or Pat's? Because we're not going to both of them.
Well, yeah, Gino's. So my question is, does the campus come, or do you have to wait until the police are integrated into your system?
Okay, so if a student activated Zeer when they were at Gino's or Pat's, the campus, it's up to the campus if they would come that far south. And honestly, they're unlikely to, of course.
Right.
But they could call 911 while they're live streaming data to the Stacks blockchain, while they're alerting their emergency contacts with their location and video, and while they are streaming that data to campus security. You know, now 911 and the police are not going to get that rich data until they become one of our customers.
Okay.
But it will still work. It's just they can't get the rich data, which is what the long-term strategy is.
Okay. Thank you very much. This project is very good, and hopefully the team here will be able to integrate it somehow, because this is what we're about, is helping the community. So thank you very much.
You're welcome. I'm going to quickly say the Stacks ecosystem I'm still relatively new to be frank. We built our prototype on Ethereum, but now that I'm here, I love you guys.
We love you too, Adam.
Thanks.
And I think that, Patrick put it well in the chat, this product really increases state capacity to public safety. It's improving cities' ability to keep their residents safe. And
Yes.
Clearly you've been driven by your personal story to get to this point. So yeah, kudos to everything that you've done towards this.
Just getting started, buddy. When we start saving lives, then it matters. I mean, not that it doesn't matter, but then I'll sleep better.
Absolutely. So I know we had a couple quick questions from James, and if anyone else has questions, feel free to jump in also. But so for this next one, can you just talk a little bit about, when and how does the data start recording? I know when we've talked about it, you use some like machine learning, and can you just elaborate on what that process and how, and the second part of that question is, how do you deal with underage recordings or potential issues that might come up around that?
That's a great question. So at the moment that you activate Zeer, it starts recording, because we're trying to create a frictionless as possible evidence collection system and getting help quickly. So if you open Zeer manually with the touch of a button, it will open and it will start recording. Now, nobody has access to this data except for you. Now, if you slide a button to send the data to emergency responders, aka campus security, aka 911, that's when it shares the data. If you use safe word, we assume that you're in danger right away, and we call 911, we call campus security immediately. I hope that answers part of the question. Now the problem becomes for misuse of this technology. Everybody here understands that there's not a technology ever created that was not misused. Probably from the first Flint tool to the atomic bomb. However, we are trying to think about this in advance. One of the things that we think about a lot is context of these recordings, and we think about domestic violence victims. So domestic violence victim might open Zeer to record evidence and record their abuse, but they might not want to call for the police. They might not even want to alert their sister emergency contacts. That's up to them. Then when they get real fed up, they're going to alert their sister. She's going to come and help, record all that data to the blockchain. Nobody can mess with it. And then when she's finally ready, she'll call the police and everything above. And then she'll have a strong chain of evidence to prosecute the guy. But flip side of that coin is if she's defending herself after she was attacked by her abuser, and he, assuming it's a male, he gets out the Zeer and activates it. When she starts punching back, she looks like the aggressor. Context is everything, and we don't have a solution for all edge cases yet.
Yeah, this reminds me of, it kind of seems like it's along the same broader trend that we've been seeing around more transparency and public accountability, specifically
Yes.
with the implementation of police body cameras, using a tool to sort of report this. And to your point, a lot of times it's very contextual, where it can be hard to maybe discern different things. But how do you see the relationship between what you're building and sort of like more instances that we're seeing around like the use of data, cameras, things like that to improve public safety?
Well, one of my early, I thought, oh man, well, I'm going to sell this to the police. I'm going to live stream police body camera footage directly to the blockchain. Nobody could mess with it. It's a perfect chain of evidence. And then I found out that Axon, who used to be called Taser International, they started now they're not using blockchain technology. Nobody in the space is doing that. But they started a project in Seattle, probably about the same time I started ideating how to do this in late 2018. I'm not sure if I got a little bit off topic, but one of the things that I have been thinking about recently is that if you're in a public place, all your data you're going to be recorded 24/7. There's not going to be getting around that. It's cheaper than, it keeps getting cheaper. It's going to be ubiquitous, like it is in London or probably China. In America, you might be lucky if you cannot be recorded while you sleep. I think the best defense against that is a strong democracy, where we can agree on what we want to define as privacy and what we want to define as public safety. I don't know if that answered your question, but that's just some thoughts I've been having.
Absolutely. And I think that there's inherently some tensions between privacy and transparency, or privacy and accountability. We still need to sort of design those sorts of systems to ensure that we can kind of have that sort of public accountability with stuff like this.
Yeah, we do. And I don't know the best way to design this. I don't know if there's a technical solution for this. I feel like it has to be a community solution. Maybe we'll all we'll have a DAO and we'll all get to vote on how much where the line is between transparency and privacy.
Yeah. So Adam, my last question for you is if you could elaborate a little bit more on the use of how you're thinking of incorporating CityCoins into the incentive model. Can you talk a little bit more about what that integration might look like?
Sure. Well, at a very early stage, we want to offer Zeer the colleges are going to be paying for this. They would buy, let's say, $60,000 in CityCoins. That goes into a pool, and then there's a wallet, maybe through Xverse, working with Ken, the Xverse will be incorporated into Zeer. And as the students use Zeer to protect each other, as we gamify, and they answer correct questions, et cetera, we'll run competitions. They receive CityCoin, or they can receive benefits from the university. They can receive 20% off of a Temple sweatshirt or what have you. So the CityCoins aspect is to help people remember that, look, again, safety is not sexy, especially for younger people. But you have to remember that Zeer is there. You have to remember your safe word, or it's no good. So we're trying to leverage the value in CityCoins to make it enjoyable to use a product and learn about safety. That's in a nutshell how we hope to use CityCoin. And then from a community standpoint, if you record Zeer and you have the keys to this evidence, we're speculating, there's some ethical and legal complications to this. You have the keys, if you record a crime, that you can choose to release it to prosecutors. And then you could earn coins in that way. But we haven't got there yet. Right now, we're just focused on incentivizing people to learn and keep each other safe.
Absolutely. Well, okay, Adam, again, really appreciate your time here. Great presentation. And thanks for sharing what you're building with the community.
Thank you. And please send me more questions or ideas. I don't know if I have the bandwidth for all of them, but please send me some ideas and questions, and I'll be happy to keep learning from this community and trying to help build it.
Absolutely.